Mindset Monday, baby. Here we go. We're going to get it started. We're going to get it started here. Yeah. I noticed my ears are popping out. Holy cow, some of those guys. Yeah. Monday Mindset on a Sunday if you're in America. What's up, Manny? Pro Panner, what's up? Justin, what's up? Chris, what's up? Fire Chicken Express, what's up? Barry, what's up? Rashad, what's up? Kareem, what's up? Cap Crypto, what's up? Kaylee, what's up? Eric, Pierre, DJ, Travis, Dan, all the regular bunch. Booker, what's up? Drew, what's up? A couple just quick announcements before we dive in. I want to talk about BTC, FUD, the whole Bitcoin bubble talk. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some of the high yield stuff, update you on that. I'm in a pretty just kind of slow mode, I guess, today. I haven't taken a day off coffee because I noticed Friday, I thought the live stream was really, really bad. I didn't, I don't know. I just didn't think I showed up good and well enough. So today I was like, okay, let's chill out on the coffee. And so we'll talk about BTC. We'll talk about mindset a little bit. We'll talk about FUD. There's BitConnect FUD, like always. There's FUD on really anything that's high interest, higher risk. So there's FUD hitting on that, which is great, and then we'll go from there. But what I was going to say is, so in the community, we're doing different things all the time. What I would suggest is that if you're not in a Discord chat, that you join it, because I'm really going to start kind of breaking apart the YouTube from the Discord chat, because there's almost 8,000 people on YouTube and there's 1,200 people in the Discord chat. So I'm going to start really rewarding those people that are in the Discord chat with exclusive things. Like over the weekend, I gave away 3 $100 positions in BitConnect, just for the hell of it. And so I'm going to start doing more giveaways in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. We've made it a little bit harder. You have to confirm your phone number. And you got to be on the group for 10 or 20 days before you can message people. There's some rules now that we've implemented to stop people from spamming and coming in and trying to do malicious things to the community. But overall, that's really where you're going to get the most up-to-date information and the stuff before it even hits the community here, before it even hits the YouTube channel. That's all being concocted and brewed up in the Discord itself. So we've got some big things coming up this week. We're going to do another group buy-in into an opportunity, a high yield, I guess you'd call it. We have direct contact with high-level people and the CEO himself, and we're looking to do a live stream and bring everybody on and have a lot of fun and bring the opportunity to you guys. We're going to open up, we're going to start doing community positions in a lot of these things, to where the very first position is going to be a community position that is then all that money that's generated is then pumped back into the community in some sort of way. I think doing schools, I'm in Bali, Indonesia. I think doing schools throughout Indonesia would be amazing. They're fairly cheap too. Tim Sykes, who's a penny stock trader who's moved into crypto now, he's done, I think, 8 or 9 schools in Indonesia, which I think is just amazing, in Bali. I would love to do similar and give back in that sort of capacity. And then, what else? We're starting a beta marketing group. It's already filled up, so you can't get into it now. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be walking everybody through how to set up marketing funnels uniquely to them, uniquely to their voice. And that opportunity was filled within, I think, 10, 15 minutes of me posting it in the Discord chat. I will say this right now. Just the other day, I saw that Tai Lopez is launching a marketing course, has launched a marketing course on Bitcoin. Most true Bitcoiners hate it, and they're talking shit on Tai Lopez. But what I'm going to tell you right now is that we are officially into the next wave of things. Remember how for like the last month or two, I've been saying like, look, as soon as big marketers get in here, the market will be flooded with marketers, and marketers that have a lot more experience than a lot of you guys. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but what it proves is that if you want to start marketing, you need to get your shit together, and you need to get it together right now. Like we're talking today, you need to clear out your whole week and get something rolling. We're starting the training on the 6th, which is in 2 days. Most of the people in that group, I believe there's 10 or 11, they're already getting audio equipment, Yeti mics, good enough webcam to shoot video on, and they are already building funnels now. Because I'm going to tell you, like, the Tai Lopez move is just the start of this. Tai Lopez is the biggest spender of ads on YouTube outside of corporations and companies. He is like the #1 guy that is a private person spending money on YouTube. So that being said, he's promoting like Bitcoin 101. So what that means is two-phase for us and everybody in the community. That means that there's going to be a ton more people coming into crypto. So you can piggyback off of that to get them into maybe opportunities or your portfolio strategy, whatever you're looking to do as from the marketing side of it. That means that there's a lot more people that are going to be coming in and getting knowledge on Bitcoin itself, which is exciting and really, really good news. The semi-downside to that would be that he's going to start bidding on all the Bitcoin keywords and all the Bitcoin placements within the Bitcoin community. So you'll be starting to see his ads on my videos and anybody else who has ads turned on their videos. He'll be in the stream, in display, all of it. So that means that the price for Bitcoin related keywords is about to go up, because I can tell you right now, he does not give a shit. He will outbid anybody, and he'll do it to get that. He's got a formula really well figured out, a viral formula to ensure that his videos really take off. And so Bitcoin, I saw it coming. I can't remember which day it was, but I brought up him on the H3 podcast, and I knew already that he was getting into it. He said that later that day he was meeting with a ton of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency experts. What do you know? Here we are 2-3 weeks later, and this guy's launched a course on it. So you got to be able to predict those things. And that's true for every piece of this market. The social dynamic piece is such a big piece of it. Being able to predict and see where the trend is going is very, very important. Okay. So let's jump into BTC, shall we? Overall, the thing you got to realize is that like the whole crypto space is at war with itself. And it's at war with itself because there's so much fear. And the guy on top who's been trading for 45 years, even though he's only 23 years old, and the best guys in the market, they're just as scared as somebody coming in the door. Understand that what you see with their commentary and maybe like they're always just poking fun at stuff, and they're always cracking jokes and trying to be funny, like that's hiding fear though still. And that's like a little bit passive aggressive, because they're still trying to make a point, even though they're trying to wrap it in this funny, smart assy kind of way. And so there's a ton of fear in the space of Bitcoin. There is fear from the guys who consider themselves more legitimate, that something is going to come in and ruin it for everybody else. Those are many things. Those are scandalous ICOs. Those are too many hacker attacks, lack of security, vulnerability, within the coin, within the technology itself. It is things like BitConnect they're terrified of. In fact, on that note, let's stem into a little bit of FUD. Mike Novogratz, who is a guy who's a huge proponent of Bitcoin, has recently come out and said that he thinks BitConnect is a scam. Okay, so you should know that. Another guy, he runs, I think, $1 billion crypto hedge fund. BitConnect is a scam. So let that sink in for a second. If what I just said, your stomach dropped, maybe you like lost your train of thought for a second, your heart started racing, a little flutter, that tells me that you need a better plan. That tells me that you are like flying off the seat of your pants. You're too heavily invested in, chances are, BitConnect and many other things like it, and you are not being realistic with yourself. So it's time to have a good hard look in the mirror and answer the question, am I okay if BitConnect goes away tomorrow? And if you're not, then you need to recalibrate the plan. You need to pivot. You need to make change until you are okay. And this will continue to be a conversation because we all sell ourselves on bullshit. And what I mean by that is we all sell ourselves like, nah, I got the plan, man. Jay, he don't understand. I got it all figured out, okay? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm completely safe and I'm completely okay. That might be the case, but I'm gonna go ahead and probe and say that most likely it's not. Most likely your plan is not foolproof because those just don't exist. And chances are you need to ask these self-actualizing questions. Like, I love the weekends because the weekends for me serve two purposes. One, I get caught up on a bunch of dumb shit so that my capacity, my energy is freed up for the beginning of the week, and I can really get honed in and get prepared with you guys for our calls and our live streams that we do together. Also, too, it allows me to kind of catch up on study and training that I need to do to get prepared for the next week. Like last week alone, I think I put in 10, 15 hours into trading analysis or trend analysis, TA, technical analysis, whatever you want to call it. And it's simply because I recognize that I'm not as good as I want to be with TA, and I want to be trading way heavier, way harder than I am now. I want the trading component to take over, 60, 70% of my portfolio. And if it's going to do that, then I have to get really good, really proficient, but most importantly, really confident with my abilities. So I've been diving deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole, just really pumping every extra minute I can into it outside of filming videos, doing training, so on and so forth. But going back to the topic, if everybody today, tomorrow, over the next 30 days were to come out and say they hate BitConnect, they think BitConnect's a scam, then that shouldn't change your position. Your position, if you're confident, if you have a plan, should not be changed or wavered based on somebody else's opinion. Now, if new information comes in, you need to be open to that. But overall, like somebody coming out and saying like, they're taking, you got to understand a lot of this is strategy, guys. A lot of this is that if it does happen to belly up, then they could go back and say, you see back there when I made that tweet and I made that prediction, because everybody wants to play Nostradamus, even though most of us aren't, right? I even do the same shit. I catch myself in it all the time. We still all love to play the I told you so game, right? And no matter how dark or, fucked up it is to talk about, like we're all over there pointing the finger going, I told you so. And it's really stupid and childish, but I find most people fall for that still, myself included. And so a lot of these guys, they just want to come out and make that position over and over again so that they could never be held accountable for saying anything different. So they're taking a very safe and reserved position by just saying like, oh, well, I don't know anything about it, but it smells like a duck, quacks like a duck, so I think it's a duck. And to each their own, right? Some guys claim to do a ton of research, and you can tell that they haven't. Some people just come right out and say, I haven't done any research, but I'm going to stay away. That's all okay, because that's their opinion. You need to make your own opinion for yourself. And like I've said, is if you're going to get into it, then first step is make the decision to get into it. Next step, now let's make that plan. Now let's plan for the worst, just in case it does go that way, right? And I've heard somebody, I can't remember who, I heard somebody say like you should, when you make a trade, when you grab a position, you should almost act, you got to find a way to remove the money component. So you should almost act like the money's already gone. Not that you've lost it per se, but it's no longer yours, and really start to work on the acceptance piece of the decision that you just made. And I like that as a general rule of thumb. Okay. But there's a war going on right now in the crypto space. And this is a perfect example of it. Tone Vase, who's like an authority in crypto, a legitimate trader, he's very, very good at TA. He's attacking a YouTuber saying that this guy's full of shit, basically. The guy's name is Carter Thomas. He does Coin Mastery, because in a couple months, I think in 4 months, this guy's gone up to 50,000 subscribers. Very well thought out channel, very well thought out content, growing very, very fast. Like if you were to compare his growth to ours, like we've grown to 8,000 subscribers in 4 months. He's grown to 50,000 subscribers in 4 months. So from a marketing standpoint, he's doing better than us. And he's a marketer. He has a marketing background. So he's definitely queuing in on search terms, title tags better, imagery maybe is better in his thumbnails. He's doing a lot of the things better than us, one could say, because his result has been better. And so basically Tone comes out and just says, hey, this guy's full of shit. And then he has to backpedal. So this was 3 hours ago, comes out and basically backpedals and says he's sorry, that he's doesn't know what he was saying, basically. And I guess this was triggered by somebody saying that they would rather listen to Coin Mastery, Carter, than Tone. And that's what triggered this whole thing. So, I mean, you have literally one of the smartest guys from a TA standpoint. Everybody looks up to this guy, falling for this like little emotional bicker match, falling for like drama and being like, no, you suck. No, you suck. And my point is that like nobody in this space right now is like bulletproof from these things. They are apparently all falling for it, and over and over and over again falling for it. And so we see this. I mean, if you were to Google right now, there's 3 news stories that have come out just since Friday that are talking about how Bitcoin, not BitConnect, Bitcoin is a scam. Bitcoin is a Ponzi. Old money paying off, new money paying off the old money, right? And so like, if you've got that argument being made at the surface level of Bitcoin, then like, I'm surprised it's not worse for BitConnect, to be honest. I'm surprised that like there isn't like pitchforks and like fires, you know, people trying to hunt everybody down that's involved in that, because of the fear of, okay, well, if everyone's saying, not everyone, but if there's this huge camp that's saying like Bitcoin itself, and all the institutional banking is saying this, all the institutional banking is saying it's a bubble, a tulip bubble all over again, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, blah, blah, blah. So if they're worried about people running out of crypto because of what the institutional bankers are saying, then I'm surprised they're not like going to deep war with the BitConnects, right? Because it makes logical sense. Like they're getting the finger pointed at them and they're like, wait a second, no, we're legit. They're the illegit ones, right? And that's how it all, shit trickles down, right? What's the saying? Shit rolls downhill, something like that. That's really like the core essence of what I want to talk about today. So like, and what does all this have to do with? Your mindset. This has to do with like your mental toughness, your ability to waver between all these flowing opinions day in and day out, and stay confident, stay resolute, stay driving forward, stay moving forward on your plan. And if you're constantly finding that you're not feeling good, then we need to reassess the plan. So here's 3 more pieces of FUD that have hit Bitcoin itself. Okay, the first one is that Treasury crackdown on Bitcoin over concerns it's used to launder money and dodge taxes. Of course, they're going to say this, right? That's what they've been saying since the get-go. But now that it's gone over $10,000, no, you don't get it. We really got to crack down now. And the argument is actually that Bitcoin is starting to become a concern for the financial structure of America. That we are now at this place to where Bitcoin could destroy what we know as currency. And I guess I'm just like blown away that we're talking about this from a standpoint of it being bad. The fiat currency system is fucking broken. It's been broken. And so we can sit here and lie to each other and be naive about it and just say, no, you need to make some changes, stop printing, trillions of dollars every single year, but we're okay, we're in good shape. No, we're not. We're not in good shape at all. And the mass adoption of something like crypto proves it. Crypto is already being used in many South American and European countries who are constantly just having economic collapses. Capital controls come in, they lock down how much money you can withdraw, how much money you can use. They start stealing your gold for the government, for church and state. They start coming in and taking those things. And what are they left with? Well, they're moving to this cryptocurrency. They're moving to not just Bitcoin, but other cryptocurrencies. And so this, mark my words, this will continue to get more and more heated as the whole central government banking institution is threatened. So you got to understand, they're going to throw everything they can at this in layers too. So they're going to call in all the favors, layer 1. Let's call this layer 1 or level 1. Level 1 is where they call in the favors of your Goldman Sachs, your Bloombergs, because both Goldman Sachs and Bloomberg both came out in the last 3-4 days, and they sounded like idiots. I'm sorry, these are very smart men, but they sounded very stupid in these interviews. And they couldn't answer the question directly. Here's how I know they were full of shit. They couldn't answer the question directly. Is Bitcoin a bubble? Is Bitcoin here to stay? What does Bitcoin represent? And they couldn't answer the question directly. I mean, Bloomberg himself fumbled over the word blockchain, So he called it what? BitChain? So he doesn't even really understand the technology is what that proves to me. But also, too, it proves that he was so far set mentally in the path of diverting and not talking about the legitimate aspect that anything outside of that, he was fumbling his words. So there's an orchestrated attempt right there to try and devalue Bitcoin. And we saw a little correction based off of this. So level 1 is like, we're going to call in all the favors of all the heads of state, all the big banking CEOs and hedge fund managers that we've got access to. Call in a favor, go do an interview. And of course, Bitcoin's hot, so the news networks already buy it up. You don't even have to call the news network. You call the guy, he calls the news network and says, hey, this is Bloomberg. I want to come in and do an interview. Who's going to say no to that? But if they have to, then they're going to call in level 2, which is all the top news networks. Keep covering Bitcoin negatively. Keep covering Bitcoin negatively. Boom, 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 boom. Why would they listen to this? Because their number one funding source is probably the banking institutions. And you can look at this as conspiracy theory, or you can just look at it with basic logic that this is how it would work if it were true. And you can start the footprint backwards and work this thing backwards and see that obviously it's in their best interest to continue to devalue cryptocurrency because their fiat currency is taking a hit, right? What else do we got? We've got another hilarious one, which is, what was this, Denmark? Yeah, NL. I believe this is Denmark or Holland. Let me just double check it here. I don't remember, and it's not saying. This article is basically saying, don't buy Bitcoin, don't support Bitcoin, and you should sell. Actually, you should sell your Bitcoin right now because it's threatening the economy. It's threatening the economy is their argument. I'll link you to this. You guys can read it if you want. That's just embarrassing. When you have a government coming out and saying, hey, you should sell all your Bitcoin because it's going to destroy the country. It's going to destroy our currency. Like, that's laughable. And it just shows and proves that they are really on their last leg here. They are really on their last leg of control. They are really on their last leg of this era that we've been living in since, when was the Fed created? The Fed was created in 1913, right? For over 100 years, we've been operating off of this slow, broken, stupid, overcharged, depreciating asset called fiat currency that is now on its last leg. And I think that's great. Yeah, and you might disagree, but another piece of FUD. So we've got a lot of this taxes. You notice how the tax stuff has been huge? There's been a lot of scandal talk around taxes as well. But we've had the tax conversation come out in both the UK. So this is the UK that we're talking about right here. The Treasury is talking about cracking down. Of course, they're going to try and frame it for money laundering and drugs. And what's the other one? Like prostitution, illegal selling of people, whatever. I can't remember what that's called. But they're going to frame it very badly. This is what they've done with Monero. This is what they did with crypto back in 2013, 2014. And here's one of the US, of course, saying the same thing. The Federal Reserve is saying, hey, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is a bad thing. The tax and litigation sides of the U.S. government have come out and talked about that they're going to start going after people that they feel aren't paying taxes. So you have the UK doing this, you have the US doing this, you have the Federal Reserve, which the Federal Reserve, to be clear, is not part of the US government. The Federal Reserve is its own private running business. Most people do not understand this. The US dollar is not owned by the government. The US dollar is owned and printed by the US Federal Reserve. The US Federal Reserve is not owned by the US government. It is a separate entity, okay? And so what do we say? The very first sentence, the U.S. Federal Reserve has issued a warning stating digital currencies, specifically Bitcoin, pose financial stability risks. Fuck yes, they do, and they should. Because once again, the old system is broken, and instead of fighting the new way, we need to adapt the new way. Could you imagine if all of the energy, effort, propaganda, and bullshit that has been to divert people's attention from Bitcoin was actually used to support it? Where blockchain technology could be right now. So the millions of dollars you've spent on FUD, maybe even more than that by now, tens of millions, could have been used to further develop blockchain technology. But you're playing both angles, and we know that most of them are. So best example of this is JP Morgan. He's come out and he said over and over again that you're an idiot. I'm going to fire you if you have anything to do with Bitcoin. It's a bubble. It's a scam. And then behind closed doors, JP Morgan is, of course, funding blockchain technology and helping advance it. So they're playing both sides of the coin while they're profiting hugely off of this, okay? If you want a really big breakdown, zerohedge.com, they have way too many fucking ads, but for the most part, good articles. Tyler Durden, who's another day trader, wrote a really big, long, basically expose on JP Morgan and the whole situation. I had to stop the loading because all these ads just keep loading. Excuse me. But very good article. So all of this is what you've missed over the weekend. All of this is what's happened over the weekend in BitConnect, in Bitcoin. You know, the war rages on, I guess you could say. And even with all of that, that's just hit over the last 2-3 days, Bitcoin is still looking good. Bitcoin is still looking sexier than ever, right? If it would have affected it, we would be below 10,000 again, but it's not. We're still at what, 11,351. So let me show you some basic stuff here. I told you I've been going batshit crazy with TA. I want to be really good at it, and I hate not being good at it. It annoys me. So what we've got here is some basic stuff. Let me just delete all this. I've been getting into Elliott wave theory, which I'll map this out for you really quick. So what we're looking at is I'm on the 6-hour chart, which means each of these candles represents 6 hours. And what I'm going to come out and do is I could do less. I'm still learning the different wave patterns, but we'll just do a 5-wave pattern. And where you start is, I won't turn this into a full tutorial, but we start down here. And then here is 1. Excuse me, no. I did this the first time. 1 is, so I fell for 1 being there, but 1 actually isn't there. 1 is here. And then here we could do right here or down to here. Doesn't really matter. The bottom of that wick there. And I don't think we're finished with wave 3 yet, but let me just plot those out, okay? So there's some basic things that we understand here and that we can make assumption on. But the first thing we need to do is we need to get a fib retracement to follow line number 1, okay? We retrace line number 1 or wave number 1 here. And this whole thing here, this whole upward bull run is wave 1, okay? And then here is wave 2, and so wave 2 and 4 are correction waves. They're correctional waves. And based on how low these correct down on 2, well, even just how low number 2 corrects, we make assumptions on number 4, and we can make assumptions on where this goes into number 5, based on if we get a 1-to-1 ratio, retracement on the beginning, and some other variables. I'm going to save a lot of that. I'll do a full tutorial on this very, very soon. Elliott wave and fib retracements are quickly turning into my favorite mid to longer term indicators for markets. Like, we can use this all day long in Bitcoin, and they do fairly well. I think adding more analysis to this would actually be able to get you a better decision. But let me just show you this. Okay, so number 2, the sweet zone, proving that it will stay bullish. This is, I'm going to leave it at this, but this is the basic TA here, is if it stays between the 0.236 or 23% and the 38% lines on the bounce or on this second wave, then it is still bullish, which this is already proven to be true with the next motion. And we're not quite done. We got to wait for more candles here to see if we've even completed wave 3. But I would come in and I'd do a fib retracement on 1. And this is where I've messed up in the past because I didn't actually know of Elliott wave theory. So I might have actually done wrong fib retracements based on my lack of knowledge in the past. So that's why it's always good to watch the most recent video with me too, because you got to understand I'm always learning, I'm always getting better. So you can assume that this video is better than every other video I've put out. And the next video is better than this video and every other video I've put out in terms of information, my knowledge, my understanding, and my proficiency in the topic itself, right? That's not true for everybody, but that's true for somebody who's constantly learning. Okay, so this also too, we can assume, there's a rule, so we don't assume that number 4 correction this corrective wave here will never get down into number 1 territory. So we're already, if you plot out into the future, we can already start to make some assumptions on where we fall. So this actually can't, that proves that 3 isn't done yet. So if 3 comes up here, then 4 can never really, it never really gets down into number 1 territory. So maybe something like this is what we're going to actually, oh, this is actually maybe be like that. Okay, which this is a very typical wave pattern, but number 4 will never get down into number 1. If number 2 is big, the correction, number 4 correction won't be that big. So just based out of what I just showed you, we're still going bullish. Okay, so even though this might run out and we might go lateral, and this whole wave 2 to 3 is stretched, it might be stretched out over days. Overall, the direction is still bullish in this 5-wave pattern that we're in. Okay, and I'm basing that off of the starting point of the 12th of November, which is when we had the sizable correction. Okay, I haven't actually jumped into the chat. Let me check the chat here. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Let me scroll back up. Let me catch up here. Tell you why you don't like Mondays. Most people don't like Mondays because they're not happy with their job. So if you are excited about Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, you dread Monday through Thursday for the most part, but you like Wednesdays because it's hump day. Thursdays get you close to the weekend. Fridays, you're loving it because it's the weekend. You need to make a change. You need to make a big fucking change. Today is BitConnect Day. It's Monday. Hextra is Wednesday. We'll get into that in just a second. Let me just catch up. Morning, Mark. Junkie fam, yep. Did I see the video? No, I don't watch most videos on BitConnect, to be fair. Because I don't care. Meaning that I don't need to see that because that's a speculation piece. Like, I confronted BitConnect. I got in an argument with BitConnect. First off, I know Jason, who supposedly got in this confrontation with this random guy. And what we don't see is we don't see all the stuff, or I don't know anyways. I don't know all the stuff that happened before that when the camera wasn't rolling. And so to watch a piece like that and even give it any merit, I will refuse to do because I have no clue what happened behind that. What I would rather do instead is just go ask Jason, hey, what happened with that? And then chances are I'll get his side, which would be overly defending himself. And then if I cared enough, then I'd just go ask the other guy, hey, what happened with that? And then I'd merge the two stories and make my own decision based on that. That would be your best bet, assuming you could get access or have access to those people. I would say USI Tech if you want to go long-term, BitConnect if you want short-term. Because BitConnect pays more than USI Tech every single day. USI Tech is something that's growing stronger and stronger every day. They've got the tech token. They've got an ICO coming up. They've got ATM technology. They've got global hash rate that they're taking over in Bitcoin and Ethereum. None of those are like, for the most part, right now, though. So if you want like good right now money, I would say BitConnect. If you want longer term and to get paid out in BTC, if you're going to assume that BTC is growing in value, then you'd want USI. Another thing I want to touch on that I don't quite understand is there's always people that are like, hey man, when is BTC going to dip? Like, I want to buy in the dips. This whole concept of buy low, sell high is actually really a warped standpoint. You have to decide, like, am I looking to hold Bitcoin for a really long time? Meaning, is this Bitcoin I'm about to buy going into cold storage? If so, then who gives a shit what you pay for it? What your buy-in rate is right now. Yeah, like this isn't a flea market. So you don't have to wait around for it to go on sale if you're going to hold it long term. And I'm talking long term, like years down the road, 2-3 years, come back to it. You put it in cold storage, just leave it alone. That is a very long-term position, especially in this game. But if you're looking to hold it short term or convert it into like a high yield thing, then you're going to have to do that math for yourself to determine, does it make sense? Am I even putting up a valid argument to buy right now versus just waiting, right? waiting for a correction. Most of the time, if I'm just moving it over, I don't really care. If anything, I want it to be high, so that way I'm spending less BTC to fund the high yield. Human trafficking, that's what I was looking for. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, and you know, to kind of talk on that a little bit more as I'm reading through the comments is like, there's so much lack of trust now in media sources. Like that's really what is fueling channels like mine to grow so fast, is because people look now outside of the traditional sources to get real information. And of course, the like firsthand experience has always been the most trusted and valued since the beginning of time, right? When we all sat around a campfire and told stories, that's like where the highest value is perceived to be from a human to human connection, right? But it's like with the last election, there's really been this disconnect between trust in institutional news and like the rest. And there's a huge cutoff. Like when you're in those bubbles, you do not go over here. You do not go over into that camp at all, really, ever. And yeah, it's that's exactly why you see like in the crypto space, like we are very, very similar people, all of us. You know, it's even though some people are attracted to this channel more than that, the whole cryptocurrency space as a whole is truly a group of people who are sick and tired of the controls that fiat and central banking bring into the picture. We know that there can be a better way to do it, a different way to do it that benefits more people. We might have thoughts and layers of like feeling enslaved by fiat currency, by government, feeling like they have too much control, feeling like we no longer trust our government. Those are threads that run through the ethos of cryptocurrency. Ripple's looking good for 2018, by the way. I don't know much about how to set up corporations in America, but I mean, if that's true, that's an amazing way to do it, Simon. I'd love to chat with you more if that's what you know. Yeah, I've read Creature from Jekyll Island. That's where they all met up to create the Fed, my bit team. Thanks for that reference, though. Okay, let me catch up. We're talking about Craigslist and selling shit. That's a little too deep to talk about. If we got rid of income tax, what would you do with it? Maybe a little too deep for the channel today. Okay, let's kind of divert into the next thing here. Yeah, you don't have to buy Ripple. That's entirely up to you. I'm holding Ripple long term for 2018. Okay, so let's talk about, had some people ask me about this. Here we go. Here's Devor, Coin, their staking wallet. Let's get into the hip stuff for a second. This is the biggest question I got is, hey, Jay, why does this have a ridiculous number at the bottom here? Mine actually said 989 days yesterday, and today it says 107 days. It will keep doing that ridiculous long number and chunking down, chunking down, chunking down, chunking down up until like it's matured coin. And then this will change colors, and then we'll start to actually be pulling out that interest and making money off of these coins. This is very similar wallet to the QT wallet of BitConnect, different icons, but I think it's built on the same code base backbone because all that's on GitHub, and that's all very easy to just kind of duplicate. But I moved over 22. I had 22 DAV left over that I got in the very beginning. So I just put that in there. But yeah, that's the number one question I've been getting on DAV itself is the question of the mature coins. So it will start staking soon enough. I don't know what the time period is. I haven't read that yet. Let me see if it's in the group though, really quick. Let me just jump in here. There was an image somebody shared. Okay, so with staking, you'll be able to earn 10% monthly during this first cycle. I think the cycles will be very similar to BitConnect, and I don't know how long it takes before your stuff is stakeable, the matureness of them. Does anyone know? 13 days now. Okay. Is it stakeable? Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Maybe it's time to crank up some some clickbait, huh? Some clickbait titles. You got to admit the shit works. It sucks, but it works. I didn't know you could lump the coins together to increase staking weight. I moved them all at once. There's a ton of, MHEX. There's a ton of fake BitConnects. And that's just something you got to watch out for. You got to be able to allocate your portfolio properly to where you're not going too deep on something. Like, to give you an example, I'm $1,000 in on DAV, and that's all I've got in there so far. And I'll test that out and maybe change the plan from there. But, we've got a little in Hextra. We're now testing out DAV. We're testing out Hexabot. I've been testing that out for, I think, a week now. Testing those two, like, you can only take on what you feel you can handle and manage. And then also, too, what your portfolio can manage. You don't want to have your portfolio stretched too thin based on, just jumping up and, oh, here's another new one and here's another new one. And no, this one's doing 7%, and this one's doing 5%. You just got to kind of pick and choose and go from there. Yeah, Rashid, great question. There's going to be a big opportunity to market yourself in the crypto space, whether you're selling an information product, you're selling a technology or tool-based product, software as a service, something on a pay up front subscription model, whatever it is that you're selling. Don't let the comment of Tai Lopez coming into the space think that, oh shit, now the whole thing's ruined. It's not. But it tells you that it's time to get moving. It's time to get starting right now. Because more people now will come into the space. So here's how this is true for the world, unfortunately, but especially in the marketing space, 99% of internet marketers are not original. They do not actually have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur on their own, which is why they're an internet marketer. And all they do is copy each other. You see this a lot on YouTube too. A lot of people on YouTube aren't true entrepreneurs yet. They're still copying each other, grabbing ideas, stealing headlines, talking about the same topics. What did he talk about? I'll talk about it tomorrow. All of that same kind of petty stuff is happening in most markets. And it happens very big, very large in internet marketing space. So what you can assume is all the internet marketers who are, I wouldn't say that they don't know what they want to do yet, and they're really good at marketing, so they're just like, this is another thing to make money. This is another thing to make money. And they'll go do it, and they'll go and exploit it and pump it for as much money as they can get. And so you can plan on Bitcoin being that next thing. I can absolutely tell you that it's already been on a lot of the smarter guys' radar. Tai Lopez is a great example of that. He's a very smart guy. He talked about it on a podcast, was already in the background doing it, had a meeting that same day with top crypto people. You leveraged them to make a training course, which is probably very, very good. They're selling the training course now for thousands of dollars. He'll make probably another $4 or $5 million over the next 3 months off of selling that training course because he can put it in front of everybody. That's what he does. That's his business model. He is a digital publishing brand. Oh my gosh, you got a new keyboard. Congratulations. Bro, I'm proud of you. Proud of you. Yeah, Hextra coin is not transparent at all. Like, nobody knows what the fuck is going on with Hextra at all. That's why I would suggest if you do get in there, get into a time frame that you can get the stuff back very, very quickly, get your capital back very quickly, and it gives you all the perks of making the higher interest every single day if you even decide to get in it at all. I mean, that's up to you. BitConnect has been around for a while, Justin. I don't even know anything about it. I don't even know if I've been to the website. Yeah, I have, because it's green, right? There's green in the colors. Chris Wolf, he is in Hexabot, Hextra, Chain Group, and BCC. Cool little lineup. But my question is to you, what are you doing to hedge that risk? Even just holding Bitcoin would hedge that risk. Holding gold, You know, move over some Bitcoin to gold. I just moved over more into Voltoro yesterday. So yeah, you know, always offset that. And you'll know, like when we're doing these live streams and I'm talking about, you know, the possibility of all this news and FUD, you'll know, because if you get itchy, if you get triggered, then maybe your positions aren't as strong as you thought. Maybe it's time to reassess a few things. Cool. D Woods is never loaning. He is just purchasing the coins. I like that style. I think I'm going to cash them out. You can make quite a bit off of just holding the coin. I mean, how many hustles have I outlined in the Discord about, hey, just buy in now on BCC, and then I would literally, oh, hey, we're going to sell out. I sat on it for maybe 3-4 weeks, made another additional $30 or $40 on staking it, and then sold out of some of the positions. Yeah, I mean, some of these moves are fairly easy, slow, basic, like you don't need skills really to do them. And I'm always calling stuff like that out in the Discord. So again, if you're not in the Discord, I'm going to plug it again, get in there, because that's where I go. Like, I spend the least amount of time now on YouTube comments. I spend the most amount of time now in there and shooting other content. Yeah, I like that style. There's what's funny and what I love about the Discord chat is our community is really a mashup of people who hate stuff like BitConnect, and they love day trading. They love trading, right? It's a combination of those guys and people who love high yield. You know, they love BitConnect. They love these opportunities, and they all just get along, right? Because we're all going to have different opinions, and I think it's great that so many people have been able to come together with different opinions and for the most part get along and be able to listen to the other person's opinions and thoughts, because there are a couple more data-driven guys that bring up some really valid points on the numbers, and you can't deny it. And so it's good to have both in there. And so one of the most common strategies that's talked about in the Discord chat, in the community with BitConnect, is to 100% pull out everything until you interest every day until you recoup the capital and then start to compound. Because at that point, you're playing with the house's money. They reference it as you're basically using money that is above and beyond your capital. So that is an easy strategy. I consider a fairly safe strategy to leverage and use. We've done similar. If you followed the 30-day BitConnect challenge, then what you'll see is that I did 10 days of reinvesting. Then I started to move that out into other things. I hedged it against gold. I got into deeper positions with USI Tech. What else did we do? Oh, we staked, and then I pulled some out and did trading and grabbed some other positions and long-term holds with coins, like all of that. And it made me feel really good. But looking back now today, here we are. We are 2 months now from the very first day that I started. I made the loan, the 10,000 loan in BitConnect for that challenge, October 3rd, 2017. It's December 4th or 3rd in America, 2017. So it's been 2 months, and we've recouped over $7,000 on that loan already, on that lend. And that's not counting affiliate money. That's not counting affiliate commissions at all. That is just from interest. In 2 months, I've gotten back already $7,000, which is insane. So yeah, of course, I would do that over and over and over again. And my strategy is still the same one. I'm going to literally just run these 120-day cycles until the wheels fall off with BitConnect. And that money is allocated. It's there. It's operating. It's doing its thing. And so, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing that over and over again. And that's really my strategy for a lot of these. The only one it's not is USI Tech. I have a little different strategy on, but yeah, BitConnect, I have that strategy on. Oh, yeah, completely almost skipped this here. How about we do a BitConnect giveaway? So I don't, oh, do I? Oh, more just came through. I cleared it out on accident this morning, forgetting that I had to do a giveaway today. But let's do this. I'm not going to do the first two because people have been complaining about the lag. So I'm going to just randomly grab a couple, and we're going to do it that way. Okay? Want to make it fair for everybody. Oh, let me log back in here. I'm not showing my dashboard because I don't want to. Because there's too much shit going on with people getting hacked, and I don't want to. I want anyone to know my stuff. All right, what do we got here? Probably got enough. $250 maybe. I got some big news on BitConnect coming up soon. I can't wait to share that with you guys. Our dashboard tool is done. We are just piping the membership classes and the membership levels together. I'm getting a nice pretty theme put on it. And nope, I'm going to do one. I'll do one $50 giveaway on BitConnect. And we're putting the front end site together and mapping the membership stuff. And then we'll be rolling that out to a beta group. Okay? So let me just roll through here. I'm going to look for somebody that I haven't really done. Maybe a semi-new face. We did 3 BitConnect giveaways over the weekend, 3 $100 loans over the weekend. That was cool. You know, because there's a lot of people in the community. Like, another thing too is perspective is key, right? And so a lot of people are like, they see maybe the small little ecosystem on YouTube and think like, man, nobody will ever sign up through my BitConnect link. Everybody's already in BitConnect. I mean, there's probably 200 people in the Discord chat that aren't even in BitConnect yet. And I kind of had that same assumption too, but when I offered it, I said, hey, look, the first 3 people that hit me up that aren't in BitConnect at all, you know, message me. And I was messaged by like 10, 15 people in the matter of 30 minutes. So I would assume that there's probably hundreds of people that aren't in BitConnect yet in the community. So don't fall for that assumption thinking that like it's too late, I missed out. That's just delusions here. Let's do Bernardo. What did I say? Bernardo? Sorry, bro. Bernardo. I don't think I've ever sent anything to you. That's your BitConnect, right? Because otherwise this will be lost. Has to be your BitConnect. So what is... Switch that back. I'll shoot you over 50 bucks. Oh, it's 0.15. There we go. Let's hit that guy. I don't know if I've actually, I think a few times we have sent money to the wrong address. I know I've done it with at least a few $100s. People gave me the wrong address and then it just never showed up. Hit me up later. Jay, never showed up. Well, that's because you gave me the wrong address, my friend. All right, just sent it. Congratulations, Bernardo. You are a winner for today. LTC. Oh, Litecoin. You're not in USI Tech? Oh, Sonny says USI Tech is fake, so I believe him. Isn't that the same guy who's still shooting BitConnect videos, even though he says he's not in BitConnect, doesn't like it anymore, but yet can't stay away from it? You got to wonder what degree it's clickbait, and what degree there's like fact going on there. Again, you really have to take a strong stance against like, why is this guy saying this? What does he have to gain? What does he have to lose? Why is he saying this? And then kind of measure up what people are saying on the other side, and then make your own decision based on that. Oh, you're at the Santa Clara, whatever, the blockchain event, right? You got a ton of footage. That's awesome. Kevin just joined the Discord this week. Congratulations, my friend. Sweet. Jafrica built a Facebook group and a fan page because of our inspiration, my inspiration. I still don't do well with getting praise. Sorry, I just took that really bad. Not so good at taking praise sometimes. Yes, I am live. We are live right now. This is not a recording. Okay, let me scroll down to the bottom. Anything on your guys' mind? I think I pretty much summarized what happened over the weekend. Just a lot going on. You can expect this to uptick, to go faster, more media, faster, hitting harder points, pro Bitcoin, against Bitcoin. And if they're feeling that heat in Bitcoin, then they're going to try and outlet that to something else. And BitConnect will always take a lot of that and a blunt of that because they are so public in limelight. What am I doing? Boing. CoinMarketCap. They had a huge jump just the other day. Let me get rid of that. Number 16 now from number 21. So again, that'll get more people looking, get more people talking. Also, too, to cover something that I think is common sense, but I've still been asked it. Why is the banner no longer here? Because they pay CoinMarketCap a set fee for an amount of impressions or a duration of time to have the banner up. When that expires, the next one shows up. So that was a case of coincidence to where, I mean, if you look, there's been a gradual increase in BitConnect FUD, but they didn't pull down the banner. CoinMarketCap didn't pull down the banner. And you can make that assumption 100% unless they were to have come out and said, we pulled down the banner, which I've heard and seen nothing like that. So all that is that the banner expired based on the brokered amount of time that they had already purchased. That's how banner ads work. So again, I think you'll have a lot of that, but a fundamental lack of understanding of marketing. You know, you had Tone fall for it with him calling out that channel I showed you earlier on the stream. You have people falling for it saying, see, people are starting to figure out BitConnect and they pulled the banner down. No, wrong. That's them not understanding marketing, which has led them to a false conclusion, and they've made a deduction that's not true. So can be dangerous, I guess, if enough of that's stacked up. U.S. Federal Reserve, of course, will play the position we have no plans to introduce digital currencies. Well, the U.S. Federal Reserve shouldn't be the one asked. Could you imagine? Let's just take a bigger look at this for a second. And this might be a little too much for some people to grasp, but the U.S. Federal Reserve is a business. Cryptocurrency challenges that business as a new business. So we've got one pillar, U.S. Federal Reserve. Crypto is right here. It's its own pillar, running completely on its own, not opposite, but standalone by itself from fiat currency, from the U.S. Federal Reserve. I actually think it would be amazing if this thing over here, let's call it Bitcoin, because everyone wants to call it that, even though it's all of crypto. I would love to see this thing grow on its own and challenge. Like, we have Coke, we have Pepsi. What's the problem with having U.S. dollars and Bitcoin, digital currency? I guess I just don't understand that. Like, if it's okay over here, why isn't it okay over here? And again, the argument will be made like, Jay, you don't understand. You're not an economist. You don't understand these structures are so delicate. If they're so delicate, then we probably need to look at them anyway. But yeah, you get Coke, Pepsi, you get Verizon, AT&T, you get T-Mobile. Shit, man, I want some more options with my money. So if that was even the driving force, that would take crypto so far. If that was the only thing it had going for it, the fact that it was a Pepsi to the Coca-Cola, it would go very far. It's just because that's where we're at as a people, as a society, you know, and America's not the only one. I think a lot of countries are at this point, a lot of countries in the EU. Yeah, so I think that I look at that as a good thing. Henry K, I don't know which Crypto Nick video you're talking about. I really don't watch a lot of these other videos. Ripple is government backed, yeah. To a degree. I mean, there's just a ton of government money getting into it. Okay, very negative about Bit. Is Federal Reserve a scam? I don't know. Some people say it is. Some people, I mean, you'd have some people argue that fiat as a whole is a scam. Oh, the video was nasty? Okay. McDonald's has no plans to sell Big Whoppers. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, extremely lucky to be making this money. Extremely lucky to be in this opportunity. Guys, do not take that for granted. Like, remember daily, remind yourself daily, like what we're dealing with, what we're in, the opportunity that you've got. Because how we know it today will be different next week, next year, 2 years from now. Not saying that's a bad thing, but there's this guarantee, this rolling guarantee and this rolling rule I have in life, which is that change will in fact occur. Change is natural. Change always will happen. And it's only those who try and avoid it that really have the big problems with it, right? Like, you have people who weren't born and raised with computer technology. And what do they oppose the most? Computer technology. All these young kids and their computers. Well, yeah, like you can't argue with reality. You can't argue with what's in front of your face right now. That's just a silly thing to do. Instead, come up with a way and come to terms with accepting it and making a plan. It always comes back down to that. Cool. Talk to Me 2000 is off to bed in the UK. Thanks for joining us. Oh, hey, Jay, what's up with Twitch? Any more stuff on funnels coming up? I love Twitch, actually. I'm not a gamer. I've never really been into gaming. When I was a kid, I did it, but I realized that would take me down a life path that I really didn't want, and I wasn't really that adamant about. I'm more of an active guy, and a lot of video games just don't really allow you to be active. And so I'm not really in that pool of people, but I love Twitch. And so we will be doing more on Twitch very soon, yes. I don't know if it'll be marketing stuff, but we'll do some Twitch. BitMac. I like that message you're spreading, MHEX. You're right. We're all in this together. Yeah, crypto. Oh man, blows my mind. There's already so many crypto millionaires, but crypto will be a catalyst for the most amount of millionaires we've seen yet. And that's not because the inflationary rate and trajectory path of currency itself, but that is because the money is so big in it, and it's so fast and it's so unpredictable that there will be people who get a good beat on that line that become crypto millionaires. I hope that it creates the most millionaires. I think it will, but that was an opinion. I should backstep that a bit. Twitch does have an awesome community. Yeah. And another reason why I don't get into gaming is because I know I could get addicted to it. So I'm just like, hey, Jake, just no, don't do it. Don't do it. Crypto investing is like a game, though. And I think you have to get to that level of acceptance with it. It is a game. There are other players in this game. You're trying to figure out how to navigate this space correctly and make the most amount of profit you can while you're being faced with other players in the game. You're not necessarily trying to kill each other. You're not necessarily trying to shoot each other, but there are other players in the game, and you have to make your plan so that you get your returns. Oh, yeah, Mark Kaiser is the guy on RT that talks crypto. I don't know if that's who you're talking about. Oh, is that Ref ICO? Referum? It will be big. Ref token I was already in. Not that big of one. A month feels like a year in this space. Very true. A weekend feels like a week minimum. Yeah, it's crazy to think that there's going to be so many young millionaires, so many young people with money, which will force them through what did I say, Mark Kaiser? I said Max Kaiser, right? It'll force them through the layers of growth and the levels of growth so much faster, which I think is always great. Stenium, have I heard of Stenium? No. You traded your gaming addiction for crypto? I know a lot of people like that, Risen. That's excellent, excellent. Okay, cool. Any last minute questions? We've been in it for an hour, did the giveaway. I went through everything. Bitcoin FUD related, BitConnect FUD related. Wednesday is Hextra Day, so we'll be back talking about that. Got some big stuff going on in the community. If you haven't joined the Discord chat, join it. Over 1,200 people now. I can't wait until there's 10,000 people in there, truly. And at the ratio we're going, I think we'll probably be at 10,000 when we hit 50 to 100,000 subscribers on the channel, which is next. Crypto's not banned in Indonesia, no, but there was additional rules and regulations passed. Yes, DJ Champion, excellent reminder. Guys, please take a second, like the video, especially when it comes to demonetized videos, which a lot of mine are demonetized videos. They don't show it as much in the algorithms. This is what's called Ad Apocalypse 3, which just means that when you've got the yellow demonetized thing on your video, they will not show your video as much. They will not allow it to have the same virality, the same spread as demonetized videos. That's why we have to have the community like you guys liking, commenting, even if it's just, hey, great stream today, Jay. Really loved what you said about XYZ here and there. And it's a redundant thing. I just ask that, guys, please, if you can, take a second to do that, because that helps the stream get to more people, helps our channel grow, which we're growing fast. We could always do better. We could always do better, right? So we're almost at 8,000 subscribers, which I feel like we were just talking about 5 and 6. So before you know it, before the end of this year, I had a goal of 10,000 subscribers. Guys, we're only 2,000 away. 2,000 is nothing, nothing. That's like that's not even one viral video. So yeah. Anyways, any parting nuggets? Make a plan, work that plan diligently every day. Don't let the FUD waver you in your decision, in your direction, in your path. Be open to taking new information on that will be important in your decision-making process and show you potential pivots along the way, but stand strong, stay resolute, and be able to listen to people dogging on the things you believe in and not let it bother you, not let it trigger you, because you know what you know and you believe in yourself, you believe in where you're going. Stay true to that no matter what hits you, no matter what comes your way, my friends. All right, that's it for this stream. We'll see you on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Singapore time. And the main theme and the giveaway for that day will be Hextra. So if you're not in Hextra, there'll be a link to sign up underneath the video. Discord chat link is underneath the video. And that's it. See ya.